Comfort is weakness. I'm Tony. Welcome back to Streetball Strategies.
Need 100 over it's nothing. Need 100 over it's nothing. Need 100 over it's nothing. Need a
My crew be in the back trying to throw a couple racks. I be in the
Comfort is weakness. So what do I even mean by that? Basically what I mean is if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. Throughout this video I'm going to make reference to the example of, let's say you're trying to make your high school basketball team. The reason I'm making that example is to keep this video related to basketball. But really the intention of this video is to be applied to your everyday life, to your lifestyle, so that you don't end up falling into that trap of choosing comfort over improvement. So when I say comfort is weakness, I mean exactly that. I'm not saying comfort equals weakness, because that would be to imply that comfort and weakness are two separate things when they are not. They are one in the same. Comfort is weakness. Weakness is comfort. So let's go over why I think that is and then what we can do about it. So this all comes down to choosing. The choices you make. When you choose to be comfortable instead of trying to improve your situation, you are choosing to be weak. So you've decided to try to make your high school basketball team. Now, how much time are you going to try to put into accomplishing that goal? Assuming that goal actually is meaningful to you and you actually do want to achieve it, how much of your free time are you going to put towards trying to make that goal happen? So I'm not saying like doing homework or chores or going to work, like doing that stuff, you should choose basketball over that. I'm saying that when you have free time, any free time you have, when you choose free time to be comfortable instead of working towards your goal or trying to improve whatever situation you're in, you're choosing weakness when you choose that comfort. Our history as a human race, throughout it, most of it, comfort has been a very rare luxury, because for most of human history, we have been consumed by the need to gather food, hunt, keep ourselves warm, find shelter for ourselves, figure out how we're going to feed ourselves and keep ourselves safe. But now in the 21st century, especially in first world countries, America, whatever it may be, comfort is now become like an everyday, like hour upon hour part of our daily lives. And like it or not, that comfort makes all of us weak and soft. It drives me crazy whenever I see someone using their free time to be staring at a screen instead of doing something, some kind of activity that you actually enjoy that's going to improve some aspects of your life. Because now in the 21st century in first world countries, we don't have to worry about gathering food, staying warm, being safe, all that kind of stuff. Now all we have is free time. We have an abundance of free time, and we choose to use that free time staring at fictional screens, immersing ourselves in fictional things that don't matter to our lives. And we choose to hide there. So any adversity we come across in life, any negative feelings we encounter in life, we choose to run away from those circumstances, those feelings, those situations. We run away from them and we run towards comfort to hide there. We don't have to worry about staying safe, eating, staying warm, any of that. All we have to worry about is, the negative feelings that we occur or the adverse situations we find ourselves in. Those are the biggest problems we have. And when we encounter those problems, instead of dealing with them, actually dealing with them directly, instead we hide. We run to comfort so that we don't have to, because comfort makes us feel good. It makes us feel safe. And so we feel better for the time being, but during that time, we're making ourselves weaker, we're making ourselves softer. This terrible mindset that we've created for ourselves manifests itself in three main ways that I've observed over the last decade or so. And so let's talk about what those three main manifestations are and how we can deal with them, what the solutions and antidotes to them are, so that we can not hide in comfort anymore.
need it on no penny.
The first main cause, and probably the most common and prevalent cause for us to run and hide in comfort, is complacency. Settling for things, situations, circumstances that we deem to be good enough. So for instance, you decide you want to make your high school basketball team, and in the process of doing that, deciding whether or not you're actually going to try out, you think to yourself, I do want to try to make the team, but also I think I'm a good enough basketball player. I like my game the way it is. I think I'm a decent basketball player as is already. And so you start to think about all the ways that you're already good enough. You're already settling for where you are as a basketball player. You're being complacent. So complacency is the opposite, the enemy of progress, of getting better. The antidote, the solution to compliance is having goals that actually matter to you, that you actually do want to achieve for the right reasons. But when you set goals that you actually want to accomplish, that actually mean something to you personally, specifically to you, and you do them for the right reasons, now you destroy complacency. Because what's going to happen is you're going to try to achieve those goals. You're going to make mistakes along the way. You're probably going to fail along the way, but because those goals actually have meaning to you and you actually do want to accomplish them for the right reasons, no matter how many mistakes you make, no matter how much you fail, you're always going to try again because you actually want to succeed. And so you will keep trying, you will keep failing, making mistakes, and then repeating and getting better until you get it right and you do get better. The second main reason we choose to escape into comfort is because of anxiety, being anxious. So you decide that you want to try to make your high school basketball team, but in the back of your mind, you have the thoughts about what if, right? You start playing the what if game, and most people that start playing that what if game, most people lose at that game, mainly because they don't play it all the way through. If you're gonna start playing the what if game, you have to play every step of it all the way back to the root of the question. If you don't do that, you're always gonna lose. But if you do go to the root of the question, you will solve the question and then solve whatever anxiety caused you to start playing that what if game in the first place. What if I try out for my high school basketball team and it's a disaster? What if I try out and it's completely embarrassing? I embarrass myself, everybody's laughing at me, making fun of me. What if I try out for the team and all this terrible stuff happens? Asking that question and then not playing the what if game all the way back to its very root, that's just gonna cause endless anxiety. And then when you feel that anxiety, just like when you feel the complacency, when you have those emotions, you just decide that why not be comfortable instead of having anxiety, or instead of having complacency? Why not, go and hide in comfort so that I don't feel like a loser, I don't feel weak. So let me go hide in comfort by watching TV, video games, cartoons, distracting myself by being comfortable so I don't have to think about and feel that anxiousness or that complacency. The solution, the antidote to anxiety has always been, will always be, to just do the thing that's giving you anxiety. Just do it. Go ahead, feel the anxiety, be anxious, go ahead, you can feel it all you want, but then just go do the thing anyway. Because in your mind, you're building up this idea that whatever the outcome is of you trying to do that thing is going to be so terrible that you're not going to be able to deal with it. You're not going to be able to handle it. When in reality, because you're an intelligent, reasonable, rational person, you can handle and deal with anything. My advice when it comes to anxiety, being anxious, is as soon as you start to feel it, just immediately do the thing. Just do whatever it is that's giving you the anxiety. Just execute that immediately as soon as you start to feel it, because you don't want to let it like wash over you and then you start to wallow in it, because then you're gonna freeze. That's what happens when you have anxiety. It causes you to freeze and then you do nothing and then there's no improvement. So as soon as you even start to have a little bit of the inkling that you're starting to feel anxious, do that thing immediately. Act now. Deal with the consequences later, and you will be able to deal with them. You will be able to handle them, because let's say, for example, you do try out for your high school basketball team and it's a disaster and it goes terribly and you're completely embarrassed by it. What happens then? Nothing happens then. Like, the only thing that happens is you feel that embarrassment, you feel those negative feelings, you internalize them, right? You let yourself feel them, and then you let them pass through you. And if you want them to pass through you even more quickly, just keep doing stuff, keep improving yourself, keep working on stuff. Allow yourself to feel those emotions, but don't allow those emotions to stop you from living your life. Sooner than later, those emotions will have exited your life altogether and you'll be fine. So you try, you make a mistake, you fail, you have those negative emotions, and then you repeat and you do better next time. Easier said than done, but executing whatever activity it is you're trying to accomplish when you feel that anxiety, that is the #1 best main solution to getting over and through that anxiety. A third reason why we choose to go and hide and retreat into comfort is because of depression. Now, of course, this can follow closely with anxiety. So let's say, for example, you tried out for your basketball team and it went terribly, went horribly. It was a disaster. You got so embarrassed, and now because of that, you feel depressed. The solution, the antidote to depression, has always been, will always be gratitude. Real, genuine gratitude. Being thankful for the stuff you already have, as opposed to hyper-focusing on the things that you don't have. So, okay, you didn't make your basketball team and it was a disaster, and then you were embarrassed and now you feel depressed because of it. Keep in mind why you even tried out for the team to begin with. You did that because you love this. This is what got you to try out in the first place. And so what, you didn't make the team, you can still play basketball. You love basketball. You loved basketball before you tried out for the team, before it was a disaster, before you got embarrassed. You love basketball then, why would you not love it now? It is impossible to feel any kind of negative feelings, let alone sadness or depression, when you are truly being grateful for something. And like I said, I'm assuming you guys watching this video, you are intelligent, rational, reasonable. So because of that, you'll be able to understand that if you're depressed, that means you're hyper-focusing on something negative. All those negative things, you're like hyper-focused on them. So if you're able to hyper-focus on something bad, something negative to make you depressed, well then you are just as capable to hyper-focus on things that make you grateful, that you have gratitude for. So switch your focus. Instead of focusing on all that terrible stuff that's making you depressed, focus on the things that you are genuinely grateful for. So you don't get to play for that team. You wanted to play for them, now you don't get to, and not only that, you embarrassed yourself in the process. So what? You still get to play basketball. You still get to live in the world of basketball. Imagine if you were injured. Imagine if you, I don't know, you were trying out for the team and somehow a freak accident happened and now you're paralyzed. Now you can't play at all anymore at all. Now not being able to play for your high school team, it pales in comparison to not being able to play the game altogether. So be grateful. Find the stuff that you actually have real gratitude for. Focus on that stuff, and you will not have that problem of getting depressed and then having to run and hide and whatever gives you comfort when you feel that depression. That is how comfort makes you weak and how to deal with it. Do not seek comfort, right? Rest and relax when you need to, when it is a necessity, but don't use free time to seek comfort. Use free time to get better. You don't need comfort. You're surrounded by a world of comfort. You live in a place where you have enough food, enough shelter, you're warm, you don't have to worry about, not being comfortable or when's the next time I'm going to be able to relax. You don't have to worry about that. So when the opportunity for rest, relaxation presents itself, instead of going to comfort, choose to improve yourself, make yourself better. Just because you've lived a lifestyle where you grew up watching TV in your spare time, playing video games, watching cartoons, that's what you did with your spare time throughout the previous part of your life, just because that's what you've always done in the past, does not mean that's what you have to continue doing throughout the rest of your life. You're wasting so much time staring at those fictional screens. Those fictional screens are not doing anything for you. They're making you feel, safe and comfortable, but that comfort is destroying you. It's making you weak, it's making you soft. There's no improvement being made whatsoever. What's the point of rolling out of bed in the morning if you're just gonna go stare at a fictional screen and waste time? Change your mindset from I need comfort to make me feel comfortable so that I can deal with life to I'm gonna make reality, the reality around me, my life, my lifestyle, I'm going to make it something that I want to get out of bed and go and engage in. This idea that you can create your own reality and then you can just go and escape in that so that you're comfy and safe and cozy, that's weakness. And when you're aware of that, when you know that the choice of choosing comfort is making you weak, when you're aware of that, not only does that make you weak, but you're choosing to be a coward. Cowards choose to get weak, to stay weak. That's what cowards do. So do as much as you can to eliminate as much comfort from your life as possible, because all of that comfort is artificial, right? You're safe, you're fed, you're warm, you have a place to live. You don't need any more comfort than that. What you need to do is evolve, progress as a person, as a player. And you're not gonna do that by wasting your time going and hiding in comfort. So thank you guys for watching. If you found this video helpful, if you think it's going to help you progress as a player, as a person, then please subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to hit that thanks button. When you hit that thanks button, you directly support the channel. It highlights your comments down below so that they stand out. And it just helps me. It helps the channel grow. So whenever you do that, thank you very much. As always, like, share, comment, hit that notification bell so you're notified whenever any of my videos go live. And until then, I will see you guys next week.
It's time to act a fool, I guess. Don't care if it's cool, you could just leave and go do you, I guess. Bounce around, we lunatics to leave the ground so lunar. Switch it coming down too soon, I guess. Who? Me don't need no rest. I sleep when I see the death. Need it out, no penny less. And if I fall, don't pick me up, I'm way too quick to catch my breath.